We recording? I think we are. What is up, guys? It is February the 13th. Yeah, day before Valentine's Day. Monday. So one green trade on the day. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about that on ES, just caught a little breakout. It's 10:30, so I skipped the market open. I was gonna trade the first 30 minutes, and I wanna get some sleep in, didn't matter. Subscribe to my channel before you do anything else. Hit the like button. Let's get to 10K this year, guys. 2023, let's do it. And join the Discord. So I'm gonna talk about my trading plan from last week, what I said in my Discord, and then how that's playing out so far, right? We're actually at a pivotal moment. Maybe we'll catch some trades live. I'm chilling now, I'm green on the day. So quick update of kind of where I am. Let's actually sit down for this. So I've got a 300K account, right, with Apex. That's the account I took the trade on. I actually haven't taken, well, I took one trade on one of my other non-funded accounts. So my funded account was the only account I took a trade on today. I could have traded all of them, but I just really wanted to focus on the one thing. You'll see that in my trading and a lot of trading in general is really around managing your mental state. You could do anything, guys. And so if you see some things like, why doesn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? Like that, you can make money in all these different accounts. It's not about what you could do, it's about what you actually can do, right? And what you can do consistently. What's up, buddy? Oh my goodness, he's a good boy. What's up? Now I got a cat. I love this boy. But yeah, it's all about managing your mental state and whatever can drive consistency, right? So if it's trading one account, if it's trading 10, it's doing half and half, right? Whatever you have to do to make it work. The more that you back test and things like that, obviously that'll improve your trading. But yeah, let's go ahead and sit down and some trades. What do you want? You wanna be on camera? Get some more cat time. You want some food? All right, bring me to your food. Let's go, come on. Look at him. That's why he's fat. Just for the internet, buddy. You'll get food. Back to the pit. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the screen because I'm not gonna screen record. We've got, this is ES, right? So these are my levels. I caught this little breakout from here to here. Nothing crazy, it was a 5-point trade. Yeah, and you can see in my account, here, the one green line is the funded account. So nothing crazy there. Hold on, boys and girls. Intermission. Okay, we're gonna set up our tripod. Hey, good enough. Cool. So what did I think was gonna happen last Friday, right? So on the last video I did, which may or may not be posted at this point, over the weekend I basically said we're gonna gap up and then sell off, right? So we did gap up, sell off, but now we're actually going back up 41.20. So my initial thesis was gap up to 41.20 and then sell off. We didn't do that. We gapped up, we didn't get 41.20. Sold off, and now we're actually just breached 41.20. We're approaching 41.30. Redid my levels. I have a level here at 41.33. And the way that I trade is I like to really look for, you know, I do scalps and stuff like that, but the really big trades and the ones that I like to do my reviews for are where we have these strong bases, right? So whenever a strong basis forms, you should look for price action to move towards whatever targets you've identified, right? That could be a fair value gap, it could be whatever, right? Some supply and demand zone, but whenever the market forms a strong base, it's gonna make a leg, likely to something, right? It's done this so many times, you know, it's not gonna do it all at once. It's gonna be a first move, and then it's gonna try and fake you out, and then there'll be a continuation, a really strong continuation to that target. It's done this so many times, I always get mad when I don't hold the trade long enough, but that's how I like to trade, right? Those are really the best trades for me in my system. So that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, we're gonna sit here. I'll let this roll for a little bit, get some little B-roll. Yeah, hopefully get some trades in. All right, buddy, you can sit. What are you doing? Oh yeah, here in the Discord. Working on a Discord bot right now to help with some trading things. So if you want to get like the last price or financial information for stuff, I'm working on a bot. And I know this, I was a software engineer, so I write quite a bit of code. Maybe I'll do a video on that. I don't know, it's a lot of work to do technical videos, why I don't do them anymore. But yeah, gotta join the Discord. There will be a bot eventually. So right now too, what I'm gonna do is, I'm listening to OM, by the way, so I mentioned Options Millionaire before. Again, not affiliated, but I feel like credit should always be given. So I listen to him probably 30% of the time when I trade. I do like listening to him on Mondays in particular though. Still in his community, so yeah, show him some love if you want to. Options Millionaire, we'll throw a link down there, but he does live streams every day because he trades full time. I still work, so I do not stream very often, but one day we'll stream. But that's what I'm listening to. So I have 8 more accounts to pass, 9 more accounts to pass. I have blown some of them up, I'll be honest with you guys. That's okay. Still trading my account too. So luckily I had a really good swing play. It's more than paid for all my reset fees. playing off like 4,200 and I need to, but yeah, the rest of these accounts, how I'm doing it is I'm gonna trade half and then half, right? So in any trade, I'm only gonna put just like a trade copier software where you can trade all of them at once. I'll trade half of them. So half of them right now are up like $1,000. The other half are still chilling. So I'm gonna trade the other half on the next trade. It's just a way to spread out my risk so I don't blow them all up at the same time. Because the first time I blew them up, I blew them all up on like the same trade. It was annoying trying to catch momentum play. So, and I was super close to passing too. That was the worst thing. I had a literally perfect run with all these accounts and I needed like $400 more to pass. I had zero, I was using zero of my trailing threshold, which I've explained, like I explained right now. You can look it up, Apex Trader Funding. So I had a perfect score and I went from perfect to complete failure. That's how it is, guys. Like, you know, it only took that one mental lapse of behavior to ruin that perfect record. And I did that because it's not real money. So the one side of when you're trading, paper trading, is you can do really well. The other flip side is like, for whatever reason, and maybe it's just me, I get a bug of recklessness where I'll sit down and like, some days I'm just like, I'm like a monk, right? I'm just like, everything is very careful, blah, blah, blah. Then sometimes I just sit down and I'm just like, it's gonna work, but it doesn't. So don't do that, you know, easy to blow it up, but you are still paying for these accounts. So even though you're not, in order to pass, you're not using real money yet, treat it like it is, because as soon as that switch went off, that's when I failed. Anyways, back to what we're doing. So we are forming a base here at 41.28. I'm gonna try and take a trade here. I'm gonna turn this off for now so this video isn't super long. And in the end, we'll wrap up what trades I took on the day and whatever else I want to talk about. And we're back. It's been a little bit too long. We're in a different angle. You'll also notice I'm on my laptop. We're gonna do a review. But there's one thing I want to talk about before we get into this review, and I'm going to do that as I bring this up. That is quitting while you're ahead, guys. So today is actually CPI. It's also Valentine's Day, but the CPI report came out. You probably seen my other video talking about my CPI trade where I made, I think, 75 grand on the last one. And then a day later on FOMC, I had lost that 20 grand. So this time I did not do a strangle, right? Just traded momentum. I had meetings in the morning. So was just catching trades as I could. But what I really want to do is, like I said, talk about quitting while you're ahead, and we will do that while we record our screen. Cool, so the market is open and let's talk about what happened today and why you should quit while you're ahead. So let's clear some of these things out. I want to clear things out that weren't there this morning. So we'll get rid of that, get rid of this, which I literally was just drawing for fun. I might have ADD, but looking at our chart right now, there was this initial push up, and I'm looking at the 3-minute just so we can kind of see all these candles. So we pushed up to this 41.83 level from down here in pre-market, from 41.60 to 41.85. Let's just say 25 points. Got up here to basically 41.85, so 25 points. Then we sold off down to 41.37. So let's just call this 41.90. I'm rounding on both sides, about a 50 point, okay? It doesn't matter how exact it is. Nothing crazy. So CPI was not nearly as big as it was before. That's fine. I still caught some good trades here. I caught the drop back down. I caught a little bit in here, caught a little bit on the rebound back up, and I was ahead. So I got a little bit cocky, right? I got a little bit cocky, and something that you need to do as a trader is when you start to feel overconfident, you need to ask yourself, am I taking this next trade because it's a good trade, or am I taking this next trade because of the last trade? Something else you can ask yourself as a trader is, in general, does this setup match any other setup I've ever taken, right? There are a list of questions that you should always go through mentally when you're about to go into a trade. And if you don't have those questions, you should write them down. So what is the risk return on this trade? Does this trade look like any of my other trades, right? How do I feel right now? What is my emotional state, right? Am I excited? Am I depressed? You know, did I lose money? All of those are things that can impact your trades, right? So I had a hot morning and it gets to about noon and I was looking for a setup in here. So let's go ahead and draw that on the chart. So we get to this time frame, right, on the chart, and I'm looking for another trade. I really want to take another trade, and I think we're going to get a breakdown because we have all these rejections on this level. So we'll go to the 15 minute, see what this looks like. So in the 15 minute, we see these two dojis here, and I'm thinking, okay, we might get a breakdown. I had something in my gut actually telling me that this was going to pop up. We had a change in volume on the shorter time frames to the upside. The fact that we were closing above my level gave me some hesitation as well. But despite that, because of my emotional state, I stayed in a trade that I was unsure of. And I do this all the time. Well, not all the time, but every time I have a losing trade, well, not every time, many times when I have a losing trade, it's because of this, right? I have this gut feeling that I'm wrong, and then it turned out to be right that I'm wrong, and I should have never been in the trade. Does that make sense? The point is, if you're ever in a trade, you have something in your gut, just listen to your gut, right? It's not necessarily a doubt. And if you do have a doubt in a trade, especially as a beginner, it's okay to be hands off. It is okay to not be in a trade, guys. You know, if there's one piece of advice that I would give new traders, you know, you can write this down as one of the key pieces of advice as a new trader, right? And there's a few things, but this is one of the keys, right? You do not have to trade. You do not have to take the trade. You cannot lose money if you're not in the market. You can't make money either, but one of the things you always hear me talk about is having more at-bats. And it's okay to be hands off and just observe, right? If you're right, write it down. One of the ways that you can still get that dopamine hit and validate yourself is writing down your thesis, take a screenshot, put it in notes, maybe use Notion, write it down, wherever it is, write it down, see how it played out, and then you can look back on it. You can still feel that validation of having been right about a trade. And as you do that, you can start to build up this log of winning trades that you can look back on and say, okay, I've been right on this 7 times on paper. This next one, that's in real life, I'm taking it. So don't just sit there and do nothing. Still be active in the markets, but you don't have to necessarily risk your money. So in this case, I risked my money. I lost money on this trade. Just a few points. I had to stop up here at, I believe, this level of 41.34, got stopped out, and I was looking for retest of the lows, really. So you can see I was going kind of big here. Well, not too big. I mean, the trade size itself wasn't too big, but I was looking for us to come down and retest lows and really just get a continuation, you know, what looks like this kind of channel-y thing here. If you ever are curious around like, how do I know where to draw my lines and things like that, it's an art, guys. It takes a lot of practice. You know, my best advice for charting in general is just do it a lot, do it a lot. Every ticker is its own beast. It has its own behavior, setups, right? The flags on ES index futures are gonna be a little bit different than the flags on, say, Apple or some Forex trading pair, right? They're all gonna be different. So know your market. This is all that I trade right now. Really, I started trading in Q. Nonetheless, so that was the setup. The best trades of today, right? The best trades of CPI, in my opinion, if we go off of what I said in my video of, you know, you newbies should trade the 15. There's a really good setup here, right? So we had a rejection here, this candle rejection here. I could even put a dynamic level here using option J. We bounced off there, then we came down. You can see that even if you got in at the close here, if you waited for confirmation, let's just say we got out at the next key level, 41.34, that's 20 bars. If you would have came down to retest of the lows, which would probably be the next best level, you're kind of greeting, even if you get to the very, I probably would get out at like the 50% here, but let's just say you're nuts, right around 40 bars. So pretty good opportunity there. Next trade, right? Rejection off of this level. We bounce up after this close here for confirmation of the 15, and we don't front run. Guys, do not front run trades. It's a good way to lose money. You know, that would give you up to the next key level, probably retesting here. This is a safe trade here. 24 bars. So 2 best trades of the day there. Why don't we front run? What can happen, especially on the 15-minute chart, if you front run trades, and you will see this play out all the time, right? If you're gonna trade on longer time frames, you're gonna see a setup and it looks perfect. There's only 2 minutes left. 13 minutes has passed. There's only 2 minutes left and you're like, 100%, it's gonna close. Let me just get in now, right? Because I wanna get the extra few bars. What happens? The candle smashes, right? And your full-bodied candle turns into a hammer candle. It turns into a shooting star. Whatever the case is, it turns into, I guess it wouldn't be a doji in that case. But the point is, those last few minutes matter, right? If you wanna actually use the candles as they form for confirmation or for entries in your trades, then you have to let them settle, right? And the whole point of trading on the 15-minute chart is to learn patience and have better setups. You don't need to be trading more than a 15-minute chart anyways. And this is something that I would tell my newer self as a trader is just be more patient, right? You don't need to be looking for these 1-minute scalps necessarily, right? It's good to get to that point and get those trades, but you don't necessarily need to be doing it. So one more thing, let's just talk about CPI in general going forward, right? So, and the macro environment. This CPI, you saw we're only at a 50-point range, right? When I made all that money on the first CPI, there was over a 100-point range. So the scope of our volatility is decreasing by a lot, right? By about 50%, right? So I don't think there's really opportunity there for a strangle. I didn't do the math on this. Maybe there is opportunity for a strangle there. Premiums didn't get too jacked, so you have to see with IV Crush and everything if that would have worked out for you. I don't know. I did not play one. I was very, very happy with my results despite not playing a strangle on this CPI, especially with, you know, my trading results from yesterday. Again, with the funded accounts, the only way I can do a strangle is by using my personal account, right? So with futures, you can't do strangle. You can't play both sides of the market when you're a funded trader, right? It's actually not allowed. It's actually against, I think, the exchange rules, right? You can't go long and go short on another side due to margin and things like that. It makes sense when you really think about the capital requirements of you as an individual, not just on an account by account basis, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, can't do it. So didn't do it, nor do you need to do it, right? There's plenty of opportunity catching 20 points in a momentum trade, waiting for a base, catching it there, right? There's a ton of opportunity that you can get in the markets just fine without doing a strangle. I think one of the things that can happen, especially with things like strangles or iron condors, is they get set up as these strategies that are no-brainers, hands off, you just do them and it's gonna work out. And that's not the case, right? The reason that I shot that video talking about the strangle going into literally the last time it worked, right? So if you saw the first video where I talked about using a strangle, then did it the next time, you would have made some serious bread if you played it right. And then the reason I talked about not doing it is because the setup was gone, right? So you have to use the edges where they apply, when they apply, but don't stick to something, right? If you're ever in a trade, or if you're a new trader, if you're brand new to trading and you're following a strategy and because somebody says it's going to work, stop, proceed with caution. Trading is a coin flip, right? Your very first trade, you can get so lucky, right? You could double your money. Trading isn't about that one time, right? It's essentially making a bet on the market. Like going to the casino and your first hand on craps, you hit it big. Well, you wouldn't say that you're a trader, that you wouldn't say that you're a professional gambler at that point, right? If I come up to you and say, okay, now do it 99 more times, you're gonna start sweating, right? That's what trading is. It's not about hitting it big on that one trade. It's not about putting all your faith in one thing that one time. It's, okay, you hit it big once, let's eliminate the coin flip and let's see what happens when you do this 99 more times, right? So we're thinking about the 99 time, guys. And I get it, I've been where you've been. I understand the allure and the desire to read some analysis that seems super true, lean into it, make a ton of money. It is never that simple. Looking at the charts right now, there's a trade I could have taken. I literally was gonna go short in the aftermarket and then I didn't. I've just been chilling, talking. I guess it's only about 10 points. So it's okay not to trade. I think that's it for this video though. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all of your support, guys. You know, subscribe to my channel, join the Discord, add some more folks coming in there. I'm in there talking about my trade setups, leaving my levels every day. So if you want to become a better trader, let me help. I would love to help, have you in my community. But my name is Forrest. I invest stuff. You should too. See you in the next one. Peace.